How can you set your relationship up to be one that deepens over time and not one that deteriorates or becomes boring? So I find that this is a common topic and worry. We all want to make sure that our relationships are getting sweeter as they age and not duller because we're used to our routines and our ways of fitting together, although there can be a delicious sweetness to that. But it's an understandable worry when the first, passions of new love start to dwindle. So hello, I'm Yanique Bell. I'm a certified intimacy coach, and I'm here to help you experience soul deep love. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing 3 tools for conscious lovemaking that deepen connection, compassion, and understanding. And as a caveat, before we get into these tools, I do want you to know these tools aren't for resolving conflict, but rather cultivating a deeper connection over time where there's a foundation of love, a felt sense of love, a felt sense of trust, of presence, of deep beingness sitting into your relationship. And so they help you build a really good foundation so that when conflict does arise, you have that foundation to lean on. You have that foundation of love and you know it and feel it. And you've been cultivating it together within the body of the relationship. And when you have that, everything else feels small in comparison. You often want to get back to that good feeling. And so resolving conflict creates that sense of relief and coming back home. And it's a joyful resolution of conflict rather than a tattered and we're coming back to something unstable. And so these tools are kind of like taking your daily vitamins, right? Or your supplements, however you supplement your body. It's giving you the foundation so that you can heal whenever you need to heal. These tools are also really for those who are in a relatively healthy relationship. Doesn't have to be perfect. No relationship is. We're not aiming for perfection, but these tools are generally for those in a healthy dynamic and not for those who are experiencing abuse, devaluation, or persistent harm. You'll want to make sure you have the correct support for what you need, especially if you have a history of people pleasing or codependency. It can be easy to pop on a video like this and think, I'm definitely the problem here. I need to do all the work here. I need to fix this relationship. And if you have a partner who is manipulative, this can become a disastrous route. So I just want you to be aware of that. If you are experiencing that, these tools are not necessarily for that situation. In fact, I've got a recent video on dating traumas and a whole playlist on trauma recovery that you can check out. And I also offer private coaching for those who are looking to unmuddy the mind and get clear on their relationship, what they want, and what you're looking for in the future. Is this something you want to stay in? Is this something you want to leave? All those questions, let's work together to find them. But okay, with that being said, let's get into the 3 conscious tools for lovemaking. And these aren't the only tools. These are just some lovely practices that I personally cherish and that help me a lot in my own relationships. And the first is looking through the eyes of love. And so this is one that I actually practice just about whenever I can remember to do so. I do it on my walks. I do it when I'm working. I do it in the mornings as I get ready. I do it whenever I'm going out. I just know that every single time I consciously choose to start to connect to love and then look into the world through the eyes of love, everything changes. It's almost like a filter comes on. I'm like seeing like the sparkle emoji everywhere. And that sounds totally cheesy. I get it. But when you experience it, it really makes you realize just how much the energy that you bring into your world, what you're choosing, the lens that you're choosing on a daily basis, it affects the way you feel in your body, the way that you connect to others, how open you are, how generous you are, it all is connected to your own chosen frequency, your own chosen vibration in that lens that you're choosing to look through. And for me, what I notice when I choose to look through the eyes of love is I can actually pick up on the aliveness, the energy within everything around me. So what is maybe before just like a bush or a tree, I suddenly feel the beingness. Like this is a living thing. And I can feel the energy in this tree. I can even feel the aliveness within objects. It's so funny. We all kind of go through life and we find little things that we love and we bring them home and we collect them, whether it's skincare or artwork. And then we kind of get used to it. And we stop, we kind of forget that moment of like, right, when you first found it and it's like, this is the thing that I've always wanted, or I love this so much, right? And all the fine details, we appreciate it so much. Oh, I love the way this feels on my skin. I love the feel of this texture or this dress, right? And then once we've lived with it for a while, it starts to lose that shimmer. And I find that when I choose to look through the eyes of love, that shimmer returns. And so you can see how this helps in relationships, because our biology is so dialed in for survival that we can become fear-based, and our constant scanning our environment for new threats means that we often mute out those things that we appreciate. We're like, okay, I'm used to that. What's new? Is there anything I need to be looking out for? And sometimes we can even do this in our relationships. We get used to the people we love, and instead of focusing on, if you don't have a habit, and this really is a mental habit that you can build, if you don't have this habit of looking for what you appreciate, then you can tend to focus on what you don't appreciate, and the things that feel irritable become bigger and bigger. Meanwhile, in the start of the relationship, when you were mainly focused on what you appreciated, that just everything else felt so small, right? Because you were so in rapture, so in love. You were looking through the eyes of love that you can mostly only tune into that which you appreciated. And this isn't necessarily to say that you want to ignore any hiccups that you're experiencing or conversations that you need to have, right? That's very important. But there are those little things that if you're already in that state of not fully appreciating what you have, it's easy for you to kind of nail into that, right? Drive into that and lose sight of the greater picture, of the greater love that you could potentially be tuning into. And so, okay, how do you actually look through the eyes of love? The first step is to connect to love within your own heart. And if this is hard, I have a meditation here in the meditation shop to help you resonate with the vibration of love. It'll take you through a bit of breath work and mental exercises, and it's actually great for those who are looking to start new relationships or looking to find their love match. I call it resonating with your love match. But it's also really good for couples and finding that vibration of love so that you can rest in it, look through it, and really see the world through the eyes of love. Because it's very easy when life gets really busy or overwhelming to get disconnected. But once you do reclaim that connection to your heart space, then like someone newly in love, you want to go throughout your day looking upon your surroundings and looking at your partner through those loving eyes. And so if I'm looking through the eyes of love, what am I paying attention to? And this is not something that you need to overthink. It's actually quite natural once you've tuned into the vibration of love. And you don't need to force yourself to see things as loving. You don't need to force yourself to make something that you don't like something that you love. Instead, as you're looking through the eyes of love, you're going to naturally be drawn to see and appreciate things that are just going to pop out at you. It's not something that you need to fake or pretend. At your core, you are a loving being. You are love. And so this isn't something you need to kind of stir up within you. It's already within you. And it's just relaxing into that state, relaxing into that frequency, and you'll naturally start to see your world and your relationship differently. If you are feeling extremely stressed out, overwhelmed, or you're struggling with resentment, again, private coaching is here. And I've also got a 30-day sensual reset challenge. It's for all genders. And I think it's day 21 or day 22 that we actually do this practice of looking through the eyes of love. So if you want to work through that course, commit to it. It's a great thing to do at the start of a new season, mid-season, whenever, or the start of the month. But it's such a great course if you're feeling disconnected from your senses, your body, your heart space, you're feeling defeated, overwhelmed. We go sense by sense, literally working through touch, taste, eyes, our sight, and we work ourselves up into a higher place where we can actually connect to that loving center. It's also a wonderful challenge to do as a couple if you are looking for something to rekindle that little sparkle. Okay, so looking through the eyes of love, give it a try. Again, you can get the meditation or take the free challenge, or simply try it right now. Like I said, I try to do it whenever I remember to, because it makes that big of a difference in how I move throughout my day and how I feel in my body. Also means I'm less irritable with people that are irritating. And I can effectively respond instead of reacting. And we all know people like that. Okay, so that works for just about everything. I honestly, it really works for just about everything, not just relationships, but it will improve your relationship and give you that foundation of love to spice up everything else. Okay. Number 2. I feel like this one's pretty predictable. You probably already saw it coming, but I'm going to say it anyways. Slow touch. I know. What screams conscious lovemaking more than slow touch? This one is so simple, and yet I think a lot of us forget about it in the moment. But slowing down our processing, slowing down our connecting, slowing down our touch, it brings a deeper presence to intimacy. You're not rushing to a goal. You're not rushing through the experience, but you're like squeezing out every delicious drop of that orange and like savoring it. I'm gonna taste every bit of this moment. What I also love about slow touch is it gives you time to break free from habitual tendencies, because it's really hard to try new things or feel creative if you're just kind of going through your daily habits or your habits of lovemaking. Like, we always start with this and then we do this. If you slow down, it gives your brain time to be like, that feels good. I want more of this. Or that reminds me, I want to try this. So not only does the experience feel fuller because you're taking more in and you're giving more, you are deliberately feeling in touch with this present moment and with your partner, but you're also giving yourself an avenue to try new things and spark your creativity. It also inspires us to be gentle with ourselves and with our partner. And this can translate into when you do have maybe conflict in your relationship, that reminder of, right, I can be gentle even in this discussion. That slow touch can actually translate to maybe slowing down our talking and looking at ways that we can be gentle in our speech, gentle in how we are approaching any kind of disconnection that we have. And so this is great for not just in the moment of lovemaking, but just in general, setting the tone of your relationship. And this doesn't mean that you never have any other kind of touch, but it's just something that you can implement maybe at the start or the end of lovemaking, or in the middle, or just, you look for ways. You'll get creative. And if you really want to be an A+ student, bring this into the rest of the day, looking at ways that you can gently connect physically that just says, I'm here, I'm here. Can be as small as the hand on your partner's back, or just brushing a loose strand of braid away from your partner's face. Just something to remind yourself and your partner of the kind of relationship you're choosing to have, one that's founded on compassion, gentleness, and a deep care for one another. And you may even be inspired to start to do this one on yourself as well. If you're usually rushing through your self-care, how can you slow down and be more deliberate, touch yourself with love, and go through the process in a way that's more intentional and filled with care? In talking about intentions, our third tool is intention setting. How do you want to feel going into this interaction? How do you want to feel going into physical intimacy? Now, I actually recommend doing this way before, maybe even days before, because in order to have the kind of sex you want to have, you typically need to think ahead. Even if you're a spontaneous person, if your life is not actually structured in such a way that you can even be spontaneous or enjoy spontaneity, then it likely won't happen, right? Or it won't happen fully the way that you want it to. And so what I mean by this is, once you've identified how you want to feel going into physical intimacy or sex with your partner, then you now know, okay, I want to feel good, or I want to feel relaxed. I don't want to have work on my mind, or I don't want to feel scatterbrained. What do I need to do in my day to make sure that I feel that way and can get there, right? So maybe that means after work, you go for a walk or you do a workout so that you can shake off some of that stress. Maybe it means getting that workout in the morning, so that in the evening you have time to cook a lovely meal or set the mood or do whatever resonates with you, right? Take time to care for yourself so that you feel emotionally available when the time comes. And if you really want to become a soul deep lover and learn sacred sex practices and ways that you can actually bring greater intention into lovemaking, then you'll want to sign up for private coaching. I'll guide you through tantric tools like meditations and breath works, and even intimate practices that you can do as a couple to bring more intention into your lovemaking. Because not only can you make a love from your soul, but it can actually become an experience that expands and deepens your own awakening journey. It can actually become a deeply enlightening journey that you can take as a couple. And if you'd like help bringing all these tools together, like, okay, how do I actually put this together in my own life? That's also why coaching is here for you. Depending on your personal goals, week by week, I'll put the tools together in such a way that they feel fluid and they make sense for what you're going through and have a cumulative effect as you build into the epic lover that I know you already are. Okay, beautiful. That's all I have for you today. Again, I'm Yanique Bell, and I'm here to help you experience soul deep love. If you'd like to work with me, all the links will be below. And if you'd like to grab that meditation, it's in the meditation shop. And I will see you next week, because next week we are getting into one of the biggest struggles for those of us who consider ourselves empaths, who desire to be soul deep lovers. Typically, I'm not saying all of us, but typically we have a bit of codependency going on. And we gotta address it. So next week I'll be getting into codependency, what is it, and how your deeper self, the eternal you, actually approaches empathy, because it is not how you think. So you don't want to miss that. So be sure to hit subscribe. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments which of these are you going to be implementing this week. You can even just pick one. You can even just pick one and just do it all week and just notice the difference. Let us know how it goes in the comments. And if you'd like to share tools that work for you in your relationship, also drop them below. I will see you next week.